All right, this is one of my favorite problems. So we've got a sphere with a 6-inch long cylindrical hole drilled right through the center, and we need to figure out the remaining volume. So let's start with what we know. So the height of the cylinder is 6 inches, and half of the height is 3. We can also label the radius of the sphere as big R. Now, when you cut a cylinder out of a sphere, you're left with 2 caps on either side. The height of each cap is then R minus 3. Next, we need to find the radius of the cylinder, and this part is clever. We can draw a diagonal line from the center of the sphere to the edge of the cylinder, which then forms a right triangle. Since half the height of the sphere is 3 and the radius of the sphere is big R, we can use the Pythagorean theorem. That gives us the radius of the cylinder as the square root of r squared minus 9, and that also happens to be the radius of the spherical cap. So we need to find the volume of the sphere, the cylinder, and the spherical cap, and I've put the formulas here for us. The remaining volume will be the volume of the sphere minus the volume of the cylinder plus 2 times the volume of the cap, since there are 2 caps. So let's plug in what we know. For the sphere, the radius is big R, so the volume is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. For the cylinder, the radius is the square root of r squared minus 9, and the height is 6. Then after simplifying the radical, we get pi times r squared minus 9 times 6. Lastly, for the cap, the height is r minus 3, and the radius is the same as the cylinder. So after simplifying, the formula becomes 1 over 6 pi times r minus 3 times r squared minus 9 plus r minus 3 squared. Now that we have all 3 volumes, we are ready to solve. All right, let's put everything we know at the top again. We're trying to find the remaining volume of the sphere, and we already have the volume of the sphere, the cylinder, and the cap. First, we'll calculate the volume of the cylinder plus 2 times the volume of the cap. Plugging those in, I get these values. Next, I'm going to distribute the 1/3 pi times r minus 3 on the right side and regroup the terms. On the left side, I can then factor out pi times r squared minus 9, leaving us with 6 plus r minus 3 plus the 1/3 term. Now let's simplify. We can factor the r squared minus 9, and we rewrite 6 plus r minus 3 as r plus 3. From here, we can factor pi times r minus 3 out of everything. Now, when we expand what's inside the brackets and multiply by pi times r minus 3, we get 4 over 3 pi times r cubed minus 27. All right, let's keep that result at the top so we can reference it. Now, we're ready to finish the problem. We'll plug in the volume of the sphere and the volume of the cylinder plus cap. You might already see where this is going. When we distribute the 4 over 3 pi on the right side, the first 2 terms cancel out, leaving us with 4 over 3 pi times 27. And that simplifies to 36 pi. I hope everyone enjoyed watching. Thanks.